Hi, welcome to Mijigadog. That
That's her
awesome
name.
piece of shit. Fuck. I don't know. Welcome back. It's been a year.
Yep.
And we are now at episode 18 and a half. That's right. We accidentally forgot to start the podcast last time because the mods forgot to record.
Actually, this is actually the director's cut.
Yeah.
This is what you can see in the theaters.
Wait. Are you telling me we have our own private theater?
Yeah, I license this podcast out every week. We play it at the Apollo.
DM.
Yeah, man.
Actually, the whole thing.
Deals.
Actually, folks, I'm gonna stop lying to you for a second and say that the whole thing was just an entire lie. That means Mijigadog itself is a lie.
No,
which means Ahmad is a lie.
None of this even happened. The past. When did we start this?
Ahmad himself is a lie, but only because he's black.
Yeah. When did we start this?
Let me check in our big folder of fuckness.
In
it was
our
September
YouTube
26th.
page at YouTube at Mijigadog.
Huh?
I was plugging our YouTube channel where you can watch all these.
Yeah, but we started this on September 26th, 2013.
Huh.
At least for, the podcast. When it came to our video game shit, I don't know when.
That was like somewhere in summer, I think. But yeah, forget all that.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck video games. Video games are for nerds.
Alright, we're at episode 18. I'm Ahmad.
And I'm Ahmad. Johnny. Steven.
Poobah.
Hawkins. Shut up! Dick.
Yeah.
Penis. Fuck.
So
Ass
what
tits.
is up? What's going on
My dick!
with the Johnster?
Nothing much. I just killed a man.
No. We should probably clean that up. You don't leave any evidence. You don't make a mess.
Yeah, put a gun against its head. Pull the trigger, now he's dead.
Did you know? I'm in that weird state when I've been out of school now for like 3 weeks on vacation, and it's like there's nothing to do. So now I'm in that weird state where I'm just like in ennui because I'm so bored. Like the other day I fell asleep. I just took a nap because there was nothing to do.
Idiot! Get a job.
That's what I'm trying to do. I've actually been doing that all week. Just going to places like, will you hire me? No.
Oh, I'm sorry. We don't hire nerds and losers.
How'd you get a job then?
Because I'm not a nerd, nor...
You're not a nerd, I guess.
I'm not a nerd. No word.
Is that a combination of
Oxford.
a loser and a nerd?
Yeah, idiot.
Otherwise known as a Johnny.
Idiot. No, more like an Ahmad. Or should I say gay mod? Gary mod.
That phonetically doesn't make sense with mine.
Well, more like The Hobbit, Desolation of Smog.
Is that any good?
I liked it.
I have it on demand, and I've been meaning to watch it, I just haven't.
Well, I pirated it.
Partially because I just didn't watch the first one either, because people told me it was alright, and I was like, yeah, whatever.
I like the first one. I mean, admittedly, it's not as good as the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah.
Especially the extended edition superior version.
I mean, it's fine as long as it's good on its own.
Shut up! I'm talking! Idiot!
Johnny's actually Peter Jackson.
Yes, I am. But, except I'm sexier.
Why did he never do the Star Wars reboot that's gonna come out, apparently? He would've been better at it. I mean, J.J. Abrams is fine, but I don't know.
I don't know. I actually don't know if he'd be a good choice as a director.
It's like a big epic universe full of stuff.
Huh?
It's like a big epic universe about adventure and stuff. He'd be perfect.
Fair enough. But you're wrong about the whole universe thing, because...
have you seen how big the Star Wars expanded universe is?
No, I'm not talking about Star Wars, idiot. I'm talking about Lord of the Rings. It's not a whole universe. It's only one planet, and not even all of it. Idiot.
Here's the part of the podcast where I bludgeon Johnny to death. Anyway,
Dead.
That'll teach you.
That'll teach that white person guy.
Why?
God,
Because
I
you're
hate
white.
white people. But, so anyway, we have shit to talk about, folks, because we're already 5 minutes in, and we've done nothing except insult each other. So let's get to it, folks.
That's a
First,
sign of quality.
Yes. So first, we're going to talk about the whole Comcast Time Warner
There's
merger.
stuff going down in the telecom community, in the telecom business.
Yeah, it's all shit, and it's going to get real, and it's going to smell. But we're going to get into that later. Then we're going to get into the
I think we should
trade.
dive. Well, I mean, after we go through the rundown.
Yeah, after I tell the fucking
All right,
news
do it.
bullshit, fuck.
You do it.
Hate this shit, fuck. So anyway,
Then we're gonna talk about Snoop Dogg.
no,
Call of
we're
Duty.
then going to talk about Candy Swipe and King and the whole trademark dispute bullshit fuck. You know, because King is a piece of shit. And yet,
And we harp on him every week.
yep. And for a little bit of lighter news, we're going to talk about Snoop Dogg and his voice acting in Call of Duty DLC.
A game we don't play, but that sounds cool.
Honestly, I kind of like the idea, but we're going to get into that later.
And then we'll plug we won't tell you what it is until the end, but I'm going to plug a little project I saw that was neat.
And so will I. It's called fuckyou.com.
Yeah, man, you should go there, get all your fuck you needs. It's the perfect place. They sponsor this podcast.
My dick sponsored my podcast.
It's a real website.
Don't type that in, dude. It probably does exist, but it probably isn't even used. If it is, then
We should get that domain.
no.
Oh, it exists.
Idiot.
It actually is a place that sells things.
Like what?
Like I see T-shirts like that say "FU" on it, and also it's in German. So Germans beat us to it.
Why would they? It's in fuck you is in English.
So
That's an English
Japanese
phrase.
word. Japanese people use English words all the time. In fact, a lot of languages do.
Well, they're idiots then.
I don't even know what the German the German term is for "FU."
Wait. How is this German? I see it in English.
Look down.
Looking down, I see Wolverine, Halloween, and this is English.
I see where. Yeah, I saw like one part of it was in German, so I just assumed the whole thing was in German.
Dummy. I don't even see anything in German.
You don't see the top thing?
That's a fucking name.
No, under it.
I don't see anything.
Never mind. Anyway,
I literally see Dutch Speed
I
Skater.
said never mind.
I don't care. We're going to talk about this
No,
right
we're not.
now.
People do not need to know the state of affairs of fuckyou.com.
And that was our conversation about fuckyou.com.
Yeah, pretty much.
Plugging.
It's real.
It really is, and apparently there's porn. I'm going to go there too.
Wait, what, really?
Yeah, this porn is at the top.
Great stuff.
And a bunch of...
And games, apparently. What kind of site is this?
I don't know. It's weird, and it's... Okay, here's a fuck you rant.
Here's an advertisement. And here's some advertisement for a parody X-Men video. Well, alright.
And there's an article about how you should swallow...
We should break into the
semen.
lucrative business of naming websites after swear words.
Let's start a website named Cunt Fuck Dog Shit.
Let's get a website called upyours.com. Oh, that exists too.
Duh! Everyone knows that. I visit it once a week.
Up yours.
So anyway, let's get started, folks.
Alright, so
Alright,
yeah.
so-
Big business
so-
is going down.
Yeah, so you know about Comcast, you know how shitty their service can be. They're decent enough, but they're overpriced and they have shit customer service. Well, and also they're fucking everywhere. You know, if you want different internet service, you're either fucked because you live in an area where they are dominant and they're the only
Yeah,
cable
because
provider there.
DSL's
Or-
fading out in favor for cable, and Comcast pretty much has a monopoly on that.
Or you get a jack shit service from some other service, or you have Google Fiber, which that only exists in 2 cities. So good luck
Yeah.
with that shit.
I heard that's pretty
So-
good, actually.
Yeah, I heard it's like cheap as shit, like almost free.
Yeah.
Like borderline free.
I got
so
a friend
that's-
who uses it, and he says it's great.
Fucking hell, everyone.
Well, because he lives in a place where you can use it. Can you? I don't think you can even use it here.
No, you can't.
That
It's
sucks.
impossible. I literally live like I live like a 30-minute drive from like the Appalachian Mountains.
Right.
So I'm not getting that kind of service here.
Maybe you'll probably get it like someday, but not anytime soon.
Yeah, maybe in the year 2050.
2050. I don't know.
When-
Google those crazy stuff. Whatever.
Maybe, I don't know, but the point is, and you have also heard of Time Warner. You've heard of them. You know, they done shit. Whatever the shit is. Point is, they're getting
You
together.
don't know who Time Warner is?
No, I know who Time Warner is.
Oh.
I'm just trying to get this podcast on the road since we're already like what 11 minutes in.
Yeah, everyone knows a Time Warner is big media conglomerate, whatever.
Yeah, we'll blow it up with bombs and
Yeah, so Comcast, Time Warner are doing a big merger.
and it's going to destroy the entire industry.
Or
No, not really. Well, what's going to happen is that basically Time Warner, okay, you know, Comcast already dominant.
yeah,
if
last year
Comcast-
I think it was just last year they merged with NBC Universal.
Yeah, which only makes things worse because now we have this entire just big corporation that will be effectively able to own pretty much every ISP, which is essentially by definition a monopoly.
Yep.
But
And
the government
we're supposed to have antitrust laws against that. But the problem is when in the telecom business, you have there's always a lot of sleeping around. There's no real idea of necessarily competitive nature. Because they have separate companies where it's like Verizon's against Comcast, but then I remember last year I saw like Verizon and Comcast like here's our new dual service and them working together. There's no real sense. Everyone's in the telecom industry. Everybody's pretty much in bed with one another, and nobody really notices
in some way.
except for like the people in Silicon Valley who get all mad about it. I mean,
Yeah,
rightfully
and-
so.
Yeah, and they're just a small minority.
But you know who's getting mad about it now? Netflix.
Yep, and Netflix is going off on a rampage and killing everyone. Actually, no, what they're doing is that they've recently released a statement saying that they are against this idea.
And they're mad.
They are mad, and honestly, they have good reason to because they are, hence the name, an internet company.
Yep.
And if this deal goes through, then what will happen is that really Comcast will be the only option for high-speed broadband.
The weird thing is that with Netflix it makes sense why they're angry. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it is very much for their own interest. Not that it's a problem, but, like...
Yeah.
Like you said, they're an internet company, they're mad about it. They don't want to have to deal with Comcast having this giant monopoly over everything.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I have Comcast, because, I mean, that's the only thing you can get here. And it's the only way thing you can get in a lot of places that doesn't blow.
More like,
And
no.
I never had too much of an issue with Comcast. I know plenty of people have, but...
I wouldn't mind them so much if they weren't total dicks.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
I
that's
know they're all their problems. I just haven't run into them yet, I guess. But I don't know. It's just it's weird it's just weird to me that only Netflix seems to be saying anything. Like no, Disney is not saying anything. Everybody
Disney
else isn't
doesn't
saying
really
anything.
care because Disney is Disney. They basically have their own
but the Disney
ISP.
has. But then when you have this, that it doesn't just extend to like internet too. It's like a cable monopoly too. You think Disney would pipe up a little more,
Maybe, but
or any other company?
But really, I see Disney as just... Honestly, I see Disney and Comcast sleeping with each other anyway, so it's kind of a moot point.
I don't think they like each other much.
I don't know.
I know Fox doesn't like Comcast.
Huh.
Yeah, they've been at it for a while.
Honestly, I have no clue because I never paid much attention to the whole...
I have a somewhat of an interest in like telecom and like kind of like the big upper business that surrounds television. So I kind of follow these stories sometimes. So pretty much, currently with this merger, everybody has something at stake here because we're literally facing what seems to be a monopoly, and I just find it funny that just nobody's saying anything about it. It's like we have to rely on Netflix, which is a pretty big company now. It's like we have to rely on the other big company to go beat up the other big company. rather than just are the laws that are in place to prevent things like this that don't seem to do anything. Because I don't know, I don't want to get too deep into politics here because I don't like discussing politics. But when you
I know the reason why.
When you have laws and people are doing things like this and the government says nothing about it, it's a little worrying.
I blame the fact that oh shit, I messed that one up. Oh well, point is, honestly, I blame just corruption in general. It's just politicians themselves don't really care, since most of them are older and really don't really care much for internet speed, when a lot of times they just go on like Forbes or whatever.
You mean Forbes?
I don't give a shit. The point is,
funny enough, we pulled this article from Forbes.
No, we got it from Fox News, more like dog news.
Yeah, we got it from Ann Coulter.
Ann Coulter and Hodder and.
Well, did you just come up with that yourself?
Huh?
Well, did you just come up with that yourself?
No.
Comedy Gold.
Yes. Okay, whatever. Point is, yeah, this whole issue is really startling because I think one of the biggest issues is that just a few months ago, I don't remember what it was, but apparently the whole net
Yes.
The whole net neutrality thing.
Yeah, it was a big issue.
Was rendered was determined to be unconstitutional, which I think is total bullshit. Because if anything, it's the exact opposite of that. Because if these ISPs have their way, then effectively everyone will. Like, honestly, I can see Comcast just blocking certain websites.
Yeah.
From, even if they have something, genuine.
I mean, I've always known that eventually the internet will have some kind of regulation. Because, I mean, you have this big infrastructure, and it's going to happen eventually. Because it's just... You have people in these situations who don't necessarily get it. And these people especially don't get it, so you have
But here's the thing. No one owns the internet.
That's the point I'm making.
Oh.
It's just the idea... Yeah, they don't get that. So when they do things, it's just... They see this thing they don't understand. It's like, we have to control it because we don't get it. Because... I don't want to turn it into, like, fear kind of argument, but it kind of feels like that.
Maybe, and I also think that maybe they just view the internet as just a place that they feel like they own because they provide it. But in reality, all you're doing is providing access from one computer to another.
The government doesn't even really provide that.
Huh?
The government doesn't even really provide that.
No, I'm talking about the Comcast and Time Warner.
Yeah.
And AOL, etc.
Yeah.
Those companies, they provide access to these computers. And granted, yes, maybe they do have rights to what they build. The wires and lines to each of these stations that they broadcast. I mean, honestly, I don't know how Comcast and Time Warner and ISPs in general are able to connect to different sites. That's where I go. Fuck it, I don't know.
If you want to tell us, you can email us at Mijigadog at 0slash.net.
Except don't.
Except please do, because we don't know what we're talking about. But
well, actually,
seriously, for any time, if we say something stupid and you want to correct us, please feel free.
Yeah, but be polite about it.
Yep, or be a dick. We don't care. We'll just ignore you.
And then we'll make fun of you on Mijigadog a year later. But so anyway, I'm trying to remember the original point I was trying to make because you interrupted me, idiot.
Sorry.
Big fuck. I don't remember. Point is, this whole thing is a bad idea.
It's a bad idea that I feel that shouldn't happen, and it probably and I know it breaks laws, and it just baffles me. No one's saying anything. I feel like a situation where no one's gonna get involved until it directly affects them, And I don't know how much.
Something.
I don't know how much is going to affect. I mean, aside from the internet and like pretty much Comcast having this big, as we said a billion times, Comcast having this big monopoly over everything. I don't know how much it's going to truly affect for like the common man, because the common man doesn't care or know about these kind of things. I mean, I guess I can't blame them, because only like half the country has internet in the United States.
I would think the number would be bigger than that.
No, it's only half. I remember reading that.
Wait, was it on Fox News?
Yeah, no. No, it was something. Yeah, I think only a bit over half of this country has internet.
Citation needed.
And I think even probably. Oh yeah, of course. And I think even less have access to high speed internet.
Oh yeah, but still, I think
sponsored by Comcast. No,
Comcast more like gay. Incidentally, I'm actually using Comcast to broadcast this.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, dude, what else do we have? What do we use? Charter, really?
And with me, Windstream, which is a piece of shit.
Or DSL, which also sucks, and it's also pretty much obsolete at this point.
More like obsolete. I don't know. Idiot.
The only thing obsolete is your vocabulary. Anyway, yeah, it's wrong. This shouldn't be happening. And what service did Time Warner offer before? Because I know they did internet. Was it like satellite internet?
Maybe.
What's up?
Satellite, more like satellite. Anyway, point is, we don't like this. This is actually a big issue. Too. But hopefully,
that explains it.
I mean,
yeah.
One of my biggest concerns about this would be the future impact.
Yeah.
Because currently, if you buy a computer, that computer is yours.
Of course.
Legally. So if you buy a server, which is basically a computer at the end of the day,
right,
that belongs to you.
Right.
But I think that one of the biggest issues here is it's possible that maybe I'm just being all paranoid, but maybe someone could be under the impression that these servers will belong to these ISPs, or will at least have some, like, these ISPs were able to have a hand in them.
Right.
And I know that sounds like, far-fetched, like, of course they wouldn't do that, the government isn't that stupid, but I'm worried that some of these companies will have that misunderstanding, or even if they do understand it, they would be doing it on purpose just to, own these different things. And granted, I know I'm just being paranoid, but it is a bit of a concern of mine.
I get where you're coming from. I don't know if that would happen, but I totally get where you're coming from.
I'm not saying it will.
Yeah,
because later on I actually do want to own my own server and have my own website on there instead of relying on a web host, which isn't a bad thing. Web hosts aren't bad. It's nice to have everything there and be able to know where everything is and the drill. So I want to be able to own that server and that's mine and whatever. And I doubt that these ISPs would do anything like to assume that they own even part of the server itself. But it's still.
I feel like something will happen if like Comcast steps on like maybe Google's toes or something like that.
Yeah, I can see that happening, which is a huge issue because there was a post that was on Imgur months ago. I don't know when this was, but it basically showed like a future Comcast advertisement, kind of like a parody thing where it would show like different packages for different things. Like if you want to go on YouTube, you would have to get like the video media package. And if you wanted to play games, you would have to pay extra for like, the game package, which
wouldn't be far-fetched.
It isn't far-fetched because it's a total possibility.
Right.
But it's still in the right hands, hear me out, in the right hands, that could actually be a good idea for people who don't want to spend that much money on the internet, especially older folk who don't really care much for speed, so they probably just go on like, just slower or like, text-based websites which don't really require a lot of bandwidth. So, really those people will only have to pay like maybe a few dollars every month, which I'd be okay with if that was an option. But Comcast would probably make them pay like $15 or even $30, and then make for those who want to use, who want to, play games or watch videos or whatever, to have to pay them, to make them pay more when they could just, when this whole issue when, right now they only have to pay just the same amount as everyone else.
Well, we'll have to see what happens, I suppose.
I guess.
I just had a friend like yesterday, say that he's cutting his internet because it's too expensive. I don't know if he had. I don't know if he had Comcast, but I don't know. I think we live in a society where like people, because I'm fine with the Netflix model of cutting your cable and then going to Netflix. Because even I've considered, because I mean it's just cheaper. Ultimately,
Yeah.
I mean if you're like a family or whatever, I understand having cable. But if you're if you're just some guy living alone or whatever.
Yeah, I really don't want to have cable in the future.
Yeah.
Except for, like, if I ever get money, which I
So
probably
don't
won't.
support that monopoly. Support the Netflix monopoly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it just depends.
Maybe.
Whatever happens. But yeah, I do think this is pretty bad news, and the fact that no one's doing anything about it aside from Netflix is pretty disgusting.
We're making it known. We're making people.
Yeah, all 5 people. No.
All 50 people who
Someone
watch our
big has
podcast.
got to. Somebody else who's big has to say something.
Yeah.
And it's got to be somebody who's really big.
Like JonTron.
Ick.
Speaking of which, Game Grumps is now owned by Disney indirectly.
Yeah, they own the Polaris network. We talked about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Is PewDiePie the guy who screams at video games?
Yeah.
Is he part of? Okay, just checking.
He screams
No,
at
I
games.
thought he was part of Machinima.
Nope. He's part of Polaris.
Polaris. Are you sure?
I checked.
I'm not even gonna look. I don't even care.
Yeah, but whatever. Point is, let's get right on to our next thing, and that is King and Candy
More
Wreck-It
Evil
Ralph.
Company BS.
and the Banner Saga. Dev 2. Jeffrey. Middle left.
Choo choo.
Publish. Thursday, 17th April, 2014. Games featured in this article. Follow.
John, you're not supposed to read the whole thing. Alright, so according to this article from Eurogamer.net, we get. I noticed a lot of the King articles we got to come from there. Yeah, so a while ago.
Interrupting Johnny!
Yes, Johnny?
I just wanted to interrupt you.
Well, you could just go sit in the corner! Anyway, with Candy. Yeah, so. A while ago, there was a big, like a couple months ago, there was a big kind of dispute between Candy Crush, which are owned by King, which, as I've said, we've talked about before plenty of times, and Candy Swipe, which is a smaller little iPhone game made by one guy, I believe. For people who don't know that story, basically Candy Swipe came first, and then with King trademarking the word candy, they decided to try to get the Candy Swipe game pulled because they thought it was infringing on their copyright. And then the guy said no, and they went to court about it. And then, so now they've apparently reached a settlement.
Which I honestly, I kind of skimmed through this article. I forgot to read what the settlement was.
I don't think it completely says, but it's the guy who made Candy Swipe basically put out a statement. I am happy to announce that I have amicably resolved my dispute with King over the Candy Swipe trademark, and I am withdrawing my opposition to the mark, as they were drawing their counterclaim against me. So they agreed to disagree and just dropped everything. Which kind of sounds sort of BS, because it feels like they kind of made him say that, but whatever.
Yeah, it does say that, but
the funny thing is that
as long as Candy Swipe still exists, I mean, I don't care much for it at all.
Yeah.
But as long as people are still able to play it and
yeah,
all
so
that,
they're
it's
not
not a really big deal.
Yeah, it's still up there, so it's
So
fine.
now Snoop Dogg.
No, there's still
No, I'm just
there's
kidding.
still more.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Look out for Snoop Dogg Candy Crush coming out now. Okay.
Featuring Angry Birds. Rio.
Featuring Angry
Rio
Birds.
2, now in
and,
theaters.
I don't know, Cut the Rope.
Captain America. The Winter Soldier.
Is this just sellout cast?
Yeah.
I'm
God's Not Dead.
fine with that though. I could use some money. No.
God's Not Dead, now in theaters.
Wait, is that a movie?
Yeah, it's
What is
this
that
really
about?
religious movie. And then there's Heaven is for
yeah,
real.
it's about that kid or whatever.
And then
I'm
there was
looking at it
Son
like
of
that was
God.
dumb.
There's like a whole bunch of like Christian movies that came out.
They always come out around April because Easter.
Well, I don't pay attention to movies until I
I don't
start
pay
working at
attention
fucking
to religious holidays that everybody does.
I pay attention to the holiday, not to the fucking movies attached to them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I know April for, like, Easter, and then, like, get ready for all the commercials for these dumb religious movies based on the best-selling New York Times book. I mean, I completely botched that. New York Times best-selling book. The book
Sweet.
New York Times best-selling.
Sweet. Do you get it? It was a joke. Do you get it? Candy Swipe, Candy
All
Crush
right,
Saga.
we were talking about video games.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Saga Dev 2. Jeffrey Butterluff. Published Thursday, 17 April 2014. Candy Crush publisher King was getting a lot of flash for last year. Okay.
breathe. But yeah, there's still a bunch of other lawsuits going on against Candy Crush. You have the Banner Saga. You have you know that cut the rope game
The one.
where you cut the rope. No, okay, no.
Is it literally just cut the rope game? That the one that is just a big parody.
No, the more you cut the rope and it falls into the little dinosaur thing's mouth, so you can get the candy.
Nope, never heard of it.
Well, it was kind of like it was one of the first like really popular iPhone games. It's up there with like Angry Birds. Candy's a big part of their game, so they're a pretty big company too. So they're like, all right, whatever, we'll fight King. We're big enough. The funny part is that King's trademark apparently, I don't even think it went. I think they might have actually dropped it on Candy because it was filed, but I don't think it was ever like actually like trademarked. So I think they just kind of dropped it at this point because they have it's bad PR. Their stocks are crap, and they have a bunch of people trying to sue them because which is also leading to their stocks being crap. So
yeah, so no one is supporting King in this.
Nope.
This whole thing, would have been like nothing if they just not trademarked this thing to begin with, and would have just gone on.
If they had just been happy with what they were making and not try to be greedy assholes, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
So
and that's a lesson for today, kids. Thank you for watching.
Don't take part of American capitalism. This is now a socialist podcast. What is this, like the star shoots by? The more you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so King's lame. But you know it's not lame? Snoop Dogg. What is with Snoop Dogg in video games?
Snoop Dogg's called
Dizzle for the faux shizzle for nizzle, my whizzle. Yeah, so according to Destructoid, Snoop Dogg's in a game we don't play.
Black Sabbath Dizzle. Black Sabbath, now available in theaters.
The band?
No, the singer Black Sabbath. Named Ozzy Osbourne. The others don't really count.
Ozzy Osbourne, the Nothing. That's a good name, though. The Nothing for a band.
Idiot.
Yeah, so Snoop Dogg...
Better yet, Ahmad?
What?
Various artists. Or how about Untitled?
Nah, I think it's actually already a band name. I think it's also a song, too.
So if Untitled made a song called Untitled with an album named Untitled, it would just be one big...
Untitled.
Yep, on the iPod.
What about Majiggy and the Dogs?
Alright, bye! I can't do this
Majiggy's like some kind of, like, reggae singer. That should be... we should just find a reggae singer and pay him to be Majiggy and sing our intros. I'd be up for that. Don't worry, be happy. Man, remember that like beginning of the decade where like not this decade, last decade where just like reggae was super popular and they just died.
I remember hearing it in Titan AE.
Oh yeah, there was reggae in that movie.
Yep.
That movie was weird. I haven't seen that in years. Holy shit. It was like the last movie Don Bluth made or something.
Yeah, and then he died.
No, he's still fine.
He died. No, he's dead.
He's dead. No, he made like you know that Dragon's Crown game he made? I mean, not Dragon's Crown, goddamn, Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, the
Dragon's
whole
Crown is that
GameCube.
Vanillaware game.
The
Yeah,
whole
he made
GameCube bullshit game.
What?
The whole GameCube game.
No, you're thinking about something else.
Yeah, I know. I was talking about the remake.
Oh, yeah.
The shitty remake no one liked.
Yeah, I forgot that happened.
Idiot.
Yeah, he made a second one for like the iPhone, and it's like 3D graphics. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but that sounds depressing.
It sounds bad. I don't know. Don Bluth, a legend in the 90s, but now he's like a...
Yeah.
Eck.
Yeah, so Snoop Dogg is he voiced a map pack that you could download for Call of Duty, Ghosts, right? Yeah, it replaces, like, kill streaks, stuff like that, with Snoop Dogg talking.
Which is stupid, but it's kind of like a fun stupid.
I love map. Back when I played that brief stint, I played Dota. I would love to get, and League of Legends when I was trying to get into MOBAs, but didn't, because MOBAs are boring. I had my friend would download like.
Holy shit! There's Elite Army.
What?
There is a Elite Army pack for like.
Oh my god! Really?
Yeah, there is. At the bottom of the article.
Jesus.
That's awesome, dude.
There's a Duke Nukem. I was gonna say there's a Duke Nukem like John St. John pack for Dota. Something like that. Sucking my balls of steel.
I don't care, but the whole Elite Army thing, I actually want to buy the game just for that shit.
You also can apparently be Predators. They have a Predator DLC for Ghosts, and I'm like,
what?
I like Predators, but I don't want to get that. It almost made me buy it though.
Yeah, it's like, Activision, you know, you're very good at this, aren't you? You know how to get me.
Yeah, give me your
fucking
DLC.
Elite Army and Snoop Dogg. I don't even like Snoop Dogg all that much, but just to hear his voice being all, you know.
What does he say when you get a kill streak? It made me laugh when I was watching the video.
I don't remember, but, you know, it's like a bunch of random shit he just says. You know, it's
Yo,
just...
Cool, you got a double kill. You got a headshot. That's alright.
Yeah. The whole thing is just so stupid. But, you know, it's cheap. It's you know, for what it's worth, it's actually not a bad deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
how much
it's actually... It's like $3,
oh,
which
cool,
that's not bad at all. You know, and if you get both... Oh, it's
Sponsored by Activision.
I mean, it's something I can actually do make it like a deal. Like if you get both, you get like you only have to pay like $5.
Oh, okay.
Which is like $1 off, which is okay, whatever. But you know, my point is this isn't actually a bad idea to begin with. You know, and this could really help generate interest in the game itself.
The interest we don't care about because we don't play Call of Duty.
Honestly, though,
I mean, more power to them, but hey.
I mean, I think the only reason why I'm interested in the first place is simply because of just this.
Snoop Dogg.
This whole thing is just weird.
The fact, my only regret is that they didn't use smoke weed every day. That'd been great.
The header image at the top of the article is just hilarious.
Yeah, as I said, this is a Destructoid article. You can go find it. Yeah, he's just like, into the mic.
It's him having an orgasm.
Jeez. I don't know, I was saying earlier, Snoop Dogg is like in video games now. Like there's a stage in Tekken Tag Team 2 where it's just Snoop. It's literally him, and the stage is called Snoop Dogg, and you're just in some like big stadium, and he's rapping in the background. And I'm just like, what is this? Why did he agree to this? It's amazing.
Why? But it's amazing, but why?
I don't know. Namco was like, hey, you want to be in our game? He was just like, yeah.
I'm not doing anything. I just noticed the title of the article. It's called Call of Dizzle.
Is all Rizzle.
It's all Rizzle.
Yes, I'm looking at the URL.
That means okay.
For you non-hip folk out there. Call of Duty's like, we're trying to get the urban market.
It's working, actually. A little bit.
I think black people already play Call of Duty. I think everybody plays Call of Duty.
Everyone plays Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty. You play Call of Duty.
Yeah, I did,
My
actually.
grandma plays Call of Duty. My cat, if I had one, would play Call of Duty. My Reese's Peanut Butter Cups would play Call of Duty. My cell phone plays Call of Duty. My fruit drink plays Call of Duty. My dick plays Call of Duty. And that's
My
how
Call
it's
of
able to
Duty
fuck your
plays
mom,
Call of Duty.
because you're a total faggot. Also fucked your girlfriend, which doesn't make any sense because you're a faggot, but whatevs.
Is there a map pack where I can remove you from this podcast?
Yes, it's called fuckyou.com.
Mijigadog, sponsored by fuckyou.com. Man, I can't believe that.
We want money! Fuckyou.com, give us the money.
Give us the money. Give me back my son. Yeah, so I got 2 games I want to plug.
Dishonored the family.
I got 2 games I want to plug.
Oh yeah? Well, I have 7 games I want to plug. Beat that bitch! Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, Johnny doesn't know about next week where it'll be Plugcast and we'll just plug games. We'll plug in our Super Nintendo and we'll play games, but you won't be able to see it. It's a podcast, so you just hear us making noises.
Big fucking fag. You like sucking dicks like the big fucking shithead. I don't know. Hi guys, I'm back.
You having fun over there?
Fuck.
But not as fun as playing Hover.
However, more like Dover.
Yeah, so, do you ever play Jet Set Radio? Or, sorry, Jet Grind Radio, it was called here.
No.
Johnny doesn't play good video games. Keep that in mind, people.
I grew up with better systems and better games like Rayman 2.
You mean the game? You mean my favorite game?
Rayman 2 is better. Rayman 2 is better. Rayman 2 is better.
Do you at least know what Jet Set Radio is?
Some faggoty skateboard game.
Sure. Anyway, it was a really cool Sega game about skating and doing graffiti. Had a really great soundtrack.
Except not really.
God, that soundtrack's amazing. So some guys were like, since Sega is Sega and won't make any more games that are cool, some guy was like, we should just make our own Jet Set Radio, and it's called Hover. Revolt of the Gamers? And it's not crazy about that subtitle, but whatever. Yeah, it's imagine Jet Set Radio, and also Mirror's Edge, and it's an open world area, and it's got like crazy like Fifth Element and Star Wars stuff going on, and a really cool like diverse looking cast, and neat. I like the graphical style too. It's not straight up Jet Set Radio looking, but it's like kind of cel shaded and really colorful. So yeah, I'll link to the Kickstarter when we put this up on our Tumblr or whatever. Yeah,
on our Facebook and YouTube and our website,
our Pinterest page. I don't even know if Pinterest has pages.
Pinterest
yeah, they're doing pretty good actually.
It's not Pinteresting.
I love these kind of Kickstarters because like they just straight up have gameplay footage. Because you know when you see a Kickstarter and like a lot of times like here's some concept art, but there's no like footage. I mean that's not necessarily a bad thing, but like I don't know. I just like seeing like, the game first. You know what I mean?
Nope. See, I buy games solely based on their concept art.
Is that why you bought?
Trailers are too mainstream.
Trailers too mainstream. What are you in the coffee shop looking at game trailers like? Yeah, I funded this game because it showed me like 2 screens of concept art.
Yep. And that's how you know he's rich.
I'm glad Hover is it's got 29 days to go, and they're asking for not too much. They're asking for 38,000, and they're already at 35,000. That's not bad at all. So they're pretty close.
You know what I think? I think we should start our own Kickstarter. We should name it fuckyou.com.
It's funny our efforts to buy that domain.
Huh? I was paying attention.
It's funding our efforts to give you a better attention span.
Huh?
That's why we really need it, folks. Please help us. And then another game is remember I was
holy shit, are we doing Mijigadog right now?
Yes, Johnny.
Oh my god, I forgot to put my pants on!
Well, it's fine since they can't, see you.
But I can see me!
Are you looking at a mirror?
I'm looking in my own reflection in the window.
But how can that be possible if you're a vampire?
Oh dear god!
Johnny is a vampire werewolf.
Awesome. Also sexy. So anyway, folks, yeah, I do not really get into Sega that much simply because, well,
you're a Nintendo kid. That's fine.
Yeah, I was a superior kid. Actually, this looks pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I may not get this.
I will not buy it. I'll put negative money into it. I'll take away money.
I want $5. Fuck you, John. Oh.
Yeah, but I'm glad they're pretty close to their mark. So yeah, they'll hit it pretty easily. So yeah, check out Hover.
Hover.com/YouTube/
Check out their Kickstarter. I think they also have a blog. You can look. That should be on the Kickstarter or something like that. And another game I want to plug is, remember Anarchy Reigns, which is incidentally another Sega game.
I don't know, but I have $7.50 and change that I'm going to, put in the bank.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
No, Johnny, don't leave.
The rest of the podcast is me awkwardly sitting here for the next 10 minutes. Yeah, so Anarchy Reigns was a cool brawler made by Platinum that Sega didn't advertise because Sega sucks. So Namco's trying to do a similar thing called Rise of the Incarnates, which is a free-to-play... Namco's been really on a free-to-play kick. They made, free-to-play Tekken, Tekken Revolution, which actually doesn't suck. It's actually kind of neat for a free-to-play game. And the free-to-play Soul Calibur, which I have not played yet. And some Gundam game I also never played. I think I was only in Japan. So I think Namco's pretty much one of the few people who actually do free-to-play correctly for the most part. So I'm excited to see what they do with this one. It's kind of got like the Anarchy Reigns, go around, beat the mess out of dudes, open world, post-apocalyptic style kind of thing. So they showed off a trailer. It looks cool. And I think it's going to be PC exclusive, so that'll be something.
Yep.
Yeah, so Rise of the Incarnates, check it out. This is the rest of this podcast, just popping noises.
Yep. So yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna look at Bandcamp for a second and see what we can do and plug one of the songs in from there.
Weekly Bandcamp plug.
Because why not,
Oh,
so
I'll plug one guy from Bandcamp that I used to listen to.
Huh?
No, I'll plug one guy from Bandcamp that I was a big fan of. I still am a big fan, but I haven't listened to him in a little while.
But first, because you've already plugged like 20 billion things into our podcast, I want to talk about something from the thing. I don't know.
Will you actually link it? Because last week you didn't link it and I had to do it.
What are you talking about?
That Eerie thing. You said you were going to link it and you didn't.
I did that too.
Yeah, after I did it and you realized what you did wrong.
What are you talking about?
No, not in the YouTube thing, in the Tumblr post.
I didn't do that.
You forgot to link it. I had to go at it.
Wait.
Yeah.
I never meant to put it there in the first place anyway.
You said you were gonna do it. Why not?
I was gonna post it on YouTube.
Why not link it to the Tumblr too?
I don't know.
Well, whatever.
I have a fucking life.
The life that can't stop for like a second to put in a link.
No, it can't, dude. Because I've got responsibilities. I got a job and shit that I hate.
Alright, yeah, whatever. Tell us what you want to link.
Post a link, dude. I want the link to the thing.
To what?
To the Bandcamp thing that you were talking about.
Oh, right. What are you posting?
That.
Oh. Who wants to sponsored by Bad Dragon? Who wants to buy Bad Dragon products?
Oh, god damn it, Ahmad.
Dragon
Dildos.
Dragon Dildos. Check out Adam Warrock, Bandcamp, rapper who raps about comic books and stuff. He's pretty good.
Or what you could do is be a normal hero. Yeah, there you go. Post a fucking link so that way I can post it up on fucking YouTube because I'm not a fucking moron.
See you next week, folks. After I beat Johnny to death.
No, but first I want to talk about one last thing, and that would be the Great Outdoors. Now one of the songs that's already been on our on Mijigadog, but I think it's a great album. I really do. It's about $7 Canadian dollars, which isn't too bad. And it's a kind of a Celtic acoustic kind of guitar, cello, whatever it is. It's kind of a blend of everything. It comes right down to acoustic instruments. It's really interesting. If you like that sort of thing, it's great to listen to just for whatever. It's on Bandcamp. It'll be at the bottom. If you've listened to one of our other podcasts, It was probably around Christmas time when we did it. But,
Right.
Yeah, it's a great album. So check it out, you idiots.
All right, so that's Adam Warrock. I'm a big fan of his album called "You Dare Call That Thing a Human,"
And that is the Groove
Paper Cutters and
Merchants.
Dangling Headphones. So that's my album. And what are you plugging again, Johnny? What's it called?
That would be the Groove Merchants with their album, The Great Outdoors.
Yep. Check them out at Bandcamp. We'll link to both of them.
And you can also go to
www.http://semicolon.co.uk
www.bandcamp.com and then search for the Groove Merchants and you'll find it there.
See you next
After
week,
you
everybody.
kill yourself. So, if you guys will excuse me, I'm gonna go downstairs and get my Bad Dragon dildo package shit I ordered on Amazon.
And I'm gonna use it on you!
No!